My girlfriend said she was doing charity work by dating beneath her tax bracket. I told her, then start getting paid. I'd been with Victoria for 3 years. She was brilliant with numbers and worked at a prestigious investment bank. But somewhere along the way, her pride in her career had twisted into something ugly. My role became simple. Be thankful that someone with her salary would even look at a software developer like me. The explosion happened on a Tuesday. She was scrolling through her portfolio returns on her phone while I made dinner. You know, Alex, you'll never understand money. Not real money, she said, not even looking up. 6 figures is just my bonus. You should be grateful I'm not materialistic about your little coding projects. For 3 years, I'd listened to variations of this speech. How her Harvard friends barely tolerated me at dinners. How she was dating down because she was a good person. How my startup dreams were adorable. But that Tuesday, something inside me didn't crack. It hardened into clarity. I turned off the stove and looked at her. And go find someone in your tax bracket. Her fingers stopped scrolling. Excuse me? We're done, Victoria. I'm not interested in being your charity case anymore. The dismissive laugh came immediately. You're seriously breaking up with me? You'll never find someone successful who can tolerate your little startup fantasies. You need my connections, my network. Without me, you're just another programmer with delusions. I didn't argue. I just grabbed my laptop bag and started packing my things from her apartment. As I reached the door, she called out with practiced superiority. Don't forget my firm's investor networking event on Friday. When you're not there, everyone will know you couldn't hack it in my world. It's going to be pathetic when you realize what you've thrown away. I'll manage, I said, and left. What she didn't know was that I'd met Sophia at a hackathon 6 months earlier. She was a venture capitalist who'd actually offered to review my pitch deck, but I'd never followed up because Victoria had mocked the idea so thoroughly. That night, I sent Sophia a text asking if her offer still stood. Her response came within minutes. I've been waiting for you to reach out. Coffee Thursday? Thursday afternoon, I met Sophia at a small cafe downtown. She went through my deck page by page, offering insights that actually built up the idea instead of tearing it down. You know, she said, stirring her coffee, my firm has pitch sessions every Friday. There's one tomorrow at 2. You should present. Isn't that the same time as the Goldman networking event? She smiled. Better audience at ours. We actually write checks. Friday came fast. I wore my best suit and arrived at the venture firm's offices early. The conference room was filling up when I recognized a face on the panel of judges. Victoria's boss, Richard Ramirez, was sitting at the center of the table. In the audience, I spotted Victoria in her analyst seat, there to take notes for the partners. She saw me at the same moment. Her face went through several expressions, from shock to confusion to rage, finally settling on forced indifference. I delivered my presentation like my life depended on it. The questions from the panel were sharp but fair, and I could feel the room's energy shifting in my favor. Sophia's firm had already indicated interest as a potential lead investor, and other partners were leaning forward, engaged. Then Victoria stood up during the Q&A session. Her voice tried for professional concern, but cracked with something personal underneath. I have a question about the founder's experience, she said. Isn't this kind of complex for someone without real business experience? I mean, understanding actual market dynamics requires more than just coding ability. The room went quiet. Richard Ramirez's face showed clear discomfort at his analyst's oddly personal attack. The other panelists looked confused. I stayed calm and met her eyes. You said it yourself, that you were doing charity work by dating someone who won't aim high in life, so that's what I'm doing. The color drained from Victoria's face as she realized I'd just exposed her cruelty. She sat down quickly, but the damage was done. The next week brought escalation I should have expected. First came the emails threatening legal action over intellectual property she claimed to have contributed to my startup idea. Then she contacted other venture firms, spreading rumors about my instability and unprofessional behavior. But I'd learned from watching her work, documentation was everything. Sophia had recommended a lawyer who specialized in startup law, and we sent a cease and desist letter with screenshots of all Victoria's harassment. Monday morning, my phone rang. It was Richard Ramirez, personally. Alex, I want to apologize for Friday's inappropriate comments, he said. We take professional conduct very seriously at Goldman. I've also heard concerning reports about contact with other firms. This is being handled internally. By Friday, I had term sheets from 3 firms, including Sophia's as the lead investor. The real satisfaction came 3 months later through the venture capital gossip network. Victoria had been quietly terminated for violating professional conduct standards. She'd applied to several other investment banks, but word travels fast in finance. She showed up at my door begging for forgiveness that very Tuesday. Her smile was warm and innocent, but I knew something. You see, I was now more successful than her in the only area of life that she truly cared about me. And if she was here, she wouldn't stop until my startup was destroyed. Full story on channel linked below.